The gold price has been steadily rising for more than a year, but it's increased sharply since the beginning of the year, at the start of which it was trading around the $2,600 an ounce mark. In recent weeks, it's hit an all-time high of $2,952 an ounce, flirting with the prospect of $3,000 an ounce. Quite apart from the traditional accumulation of gold by certain cultures, particularly in the East, central banks' appetite for gold has been singled out as a major driver of the yellow metal's current good fortune.
What we've seen in the last few years, and that's become a very strong dynamic, is an accumulation of gold by central banks globally, and also with emerging economies and more people that are becoming wealthy in areas like China and in the East and Asia and so forth, that the buying patterns of gold have definitely changed, and that gold's no longer as vulnerable to the dynamics in the West that it used to be.
Pretorius says the higher gold price has been good for profitability, enabling the company to invest its surplus cash for the purpose of extending the life of the business, maybe by as much as a further 20 years.
This level now, and even a few $100s lower than this level, is still very, very good. That margin has opened up quite significantly, and it's been far steeper than the increase in costs. So if it hangs around at these levels for the foreseeable future, then the gold industry is in good shape. We're in a very good space at this stage.
However, as with all commodity prices, while they can go up, they can also come down. And Pretorius says with gold, based on historical observations, it's usually an unforeseen event or situation that will lead to the price declining. Speaking around more operational issues, Pretorius noted that there had been an improvement in the state's turning around of water usage license applications, but suggested that the Department of Water and Sanitation didn't always have the necessary capacity to administer the law.
What we do experience, though, is that this is an incredibly complex piece of legislation. The regulations associated with it are incredibly complex, and we don't think that the Department of Water and Sanitation is adequately resourced to actually deal with it. We think that they have fallen behind many years ago, and the likelihood that they would actually catch up is remote. So it is really, it's a process that one has to manage very carefully.
Weighing in on the issue of illegal mining in the country, Pretorius said the problem really started with a lack of governance in neighbouring countries, which then leads to people deciding to seek better prospects elsewhere, like here in South Africa.
If you look at the recent incident that we had at Stilfontein, I think 99% of the illegal miners who were arrested, who were retrieved and arrested, were from outside of South Africa. So I think there's got to be an initiative in terms of which we start fixing political governance now surrounding our neighbours, so that those economies can start growing. Mozambique's falling apart. Zimbabwe, with all due respect, that economy is performing way below potential, and so forth and so forth. You could go through the list.
But in terms of dealing with illegal mining, Pretorius is in agreement with the position of Mineral Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe.
The minister made the comment that it's gold theft, and that's exactly what it is, and it needs to be dealt with as a crime. So people who involve themselves in this, both in terms of the syndicates that drive these activities, as well as the foot soldiers, the ones that are being deployed in the mines itself. I think they need to be arrested, they need to be incarcerated, and they need to be taken out of the system for a longer period of time.
Pretorius argues that questions need to be asked around why certain mines have seemingly been closed prematurely, given that illegal miners are still able to extract some value from these older mines. Nampumela Losiziba, SABC News.